Hey, just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and
Thank you.
also I had a question about the whole house player concept. I was kind of like
Sure.
I've never really heard that term before, and I kind of like just wanted to know what that is all about, how that works, and how somebody would like get into that.
Okay, so it's basically um, being a prop. So different casinos have different deals, but you get paid an hourly to basically fill the games. Um, Most notably, the games that need filling are limit hold'em because limit hold'em um, people are less willing to play shorthanded and the blinds are bigger, so the variance is bigger. There are big bet game props like no limit and PLO, but it's really reserved. They don't really give that out that often. Two people at the Bicycle Hotel and Casino who are known on the show, Ryan Feldman and Nicole Jurgens, have special big bet uh, poker deals. So basically, it's like you have a set schedule. Mine currently is coming to midnight, 12 a.m. and to 8 a.m. and just fill in the games with the priority being 2040 limit hold'em. But I have to play smaller, if it fills the game. And my limit is 2040 limit hold'em and 5-5 no limit. I used to be a 4080 limit hold'em prop, in which then I have to play up to 4080 limit hold'em and 510 no limit hold'em. But then they canceled that game, so that spot was no longer available. So it's like, just like any other job, you got to roll with the punches. Like, it's a job. You can't just play on your own. You can't like game select. Sometimes the games are terrible. If you get buried and then you get ejected from a game, well, that's what you're paid for. So there's upsides and there's downsides.
Yeah, and I know one thing is you have to have your bankroll, right? They need to
Yeah.
see a bankroll present when someone on the
Um,
job, pretty much, or no?
it's yeah, you pretty much have to prove you have a bankroll, and the turnover is so huge. Like
Yeah,
90% of props and house players do not make it because they have this misinterpretation of what it is. If you were winning already and you're playing your own, of course you could do it. But if you weren't winning on your own, don't think this is going to be a savior. It's
for
definitely
sure.
not. It's actually a trap. Just like playing higher stakes is, if you weren't good enough, this hourly is not going to save. This hourly is to stabilize your schedule, especially if you have family, if you have kids, and you need to have a stable schedule and
Health
6 days off
insurance.
days, health insurance. Yeah, so there's like, it's a life decision to be a house player. Not so much like, oh, this is like the holy grail.
So Patrick Kern makes a good statement here. He says it's like any other job. You don't gamble, you grind it out.
Yeah.
Is that fact? I'm not a prop. You are.
Uh, you definitely change your play a little bit to less variance. Like, people have it wrong. Like, people say, "Oh, you're just playing break-even poker." That's not true. That's you just change your strategies because when you're playing cutthroat no limit, we know how it is. You raise, you re-raise, and try to take control of hands. I have the luxury of being a prop, whereas like if somebody raises, I could like smooth call with a premium if there are aggressive players behind me, and they think because I'm a prop, I'm just like whatever, not even playing that aggressive. Then they three bet, and then it comes back to me. I'm like ship and get so much value out of like
Yeah,
premium
that seems
hands.
pretty cool.
That's a trick that because of their impression of you, then you could pull off on them. And
Yeah,
I don't want to call out any people that also do that stuff, but it's just like
you're
your
giving away all
strategy
the
just
strategy
yeah,
right
the
now.
strategies just change. It's not, and it's true. Like playing cutthroat is higher EV, but that's the thing about poker. You're pushing a lot more money for like a fraction of EV. You know, it's you don't have to.
And actually, Patrick, we didn't catch on, but that was a quote from
Yeah,
Rounders.
no, I know.
Oh, I didn't catch it,
Okay.
and I love
Shout out to
Rounders.
Patrick Hearn.
So,
Yeah,
but
no, I
shout out to Patrick, guys. Show him some love in the YouTube
the graphics
chat.
guy who will
He's our
be directing
no, he's not
episodes
our
too.
graphics guy. He's our graphics engineer.
Okay.
Wayne.
All right.
So, you have any more questions for us?
Well, no,
It's hard.
not
Sorry.
really, but
One
that
more
was kind
thing.
of cool. That's so.
It is not easy to get these jobs anymore, and it's harder and harder every passing day. Because I had a good reputation before, I know uh, one of the VIP hosts, Jonathan Ing, we've known each other for like 10, 15 years. It's just like you need an in. Like, if you're just going to apply through
Right.
the bike.com website, you're not getting it. There's like so many applications, and everyone knows the turnover rate's like really, really high. So, yeah, it's just not easy. But go ahead.
Do you think players like play differently against you because they know that you're a house player, or
I think they play differently against me because I have I'm on live at the bike. Maybe not the other people.
Oh yeah, people come firing.
Okay.
Oh,
too.
yeah, it's bang bang, and like the people who don't play on camera don't really know how it is, but it's just like, yeah, a lot of
Seriously,
people
I gotta
around
have
you.
my big boy pants on, like
Yeah, it's
all
hard
the time because like
it's really frustrating.
Okay, for instance, I went to the other casino the other day, and a reg that I'm friendly with, he lived in New Orleans, so we always talk about New Orleans. I love that city, and I 3-bet him, and it's a 3-way pot. It was 8-8-6 2 spades, and the guy just bet jammed into me. I have pocket queens, and like I called 250 flop, 450 turn, and like 1200 river, and I tanked. If I had time chips, I would have used 3 time chips, and I'm like, man, like, okay, he's saying he has 8-7 or 8-9 here of suited. It's so little combos. Whatever, I call finally, and he has queen jack off, and I'm just like, okay, obviously he plays it. He sees the show.
Yeah.
He probably thinks I'm pretty tight.
Yeah.
Got to put your big boy pants on, and sure enough, that's kind of went through my head, and he had some
I
random.
wanted to make a move on you.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens.
I'm sure Wayne gets that all the time
I get
too.
all the time. Yeah, but it has more to do with
that
the
makes
show
sense.
It's
than
tough.
being a house player.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've got like it's so dumb. Like it's a 5-5 game or a 5-10 game, and I get it maybe once a month where someone goes like, "I beat JJ live at the bike," and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's a thing." Like I didn't even know that was a thing. Like
we get free rolled. If they beat us, they talk trash. If they lose, it's time to hide. They don't say anything.
Yeah,
right?
of course, because I never
They get
brag.
free-rolled,
But like,
yeah.
and then it's a rude awakening. Like, oh shoot, like I guess I have to know. Like I don't ever think it's a thing because I play so much poker. Like I literally still play full time. So like, but it's pretty crazy to me when people say that type of stuff.
It's a career change. I mean, this is what happened with Antonio Esfandiari, like 10 years ago. Before we were like good buddies, we played a lot together. I played with him at Bay 101 and Bellagio. We were in a 10-20 game. It was actually his birthday, and these drunk guys were just like, this drunk guy just like went all in on ace high. Esfandiari took like the full time and did the right call with like second pair, and the river was an ace.
Yeah.
And then all the drunk guys' buddies were like high five. Oh, I beat Antonio Esfandiari. Like it's like,
of course.
I didn't, I'm friendly with him, but I didn't, we weren't good buddies then. But I'm like, God, I feel so bad for him. And he just like took it so well. He just like, I know he's like hurting inside and just like, but he just like didn't phase.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm just like, I have so much respect for him. I told him the story like after being buddies, and he doesn't remember.
Yeah,
he doesn't remember.
Of course, it's like someone that feels bad for me after losing a fight. It's like,
yeah,
it's whatever. You're a pro. You take the good and the bad. And,
yeah.
And to be honest, it's always kind of fun to hear those things too, and an eye opener that people are coming for you. But it's like a fun thing that people want to beat you, and like it's camaraderie, and So.
Yeah.
I hope we answered all your questions, man. If you have one more, we will get to it. If not, we are going to call it a night.
No, thanks for taking my call. You guys have a good rest of your night, and happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, you have a Thanksgiving, my man, and call in anytime.
Thanks. Good night.
For sure. Good night.
All right.
Quick shout outs